That's all they do.
It's the truth. All they do is put it on the trash.
He needs to go out at 9 o'clock. It's not time yet. Cause he just ate about 40 minutes ago.
Got to his medicine thing already.
Mm-hmm. Everything done online and in his body.
So
Oh, you can put that chicken away, bud. Oh my God. You can put that away. Yeah, cause that I'm gonna cook that tomorrow. That's chicken wings.
do they sell cameras there?
Huh?
We could get a camera somewhere.
It has a camera on it on the back.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna put another camera. I'm gonna put another camera on it, on both sides. One pointing at the neighbor behind us, and then one pointing into the yard. Because, I just want to, see what people doing. Because them neighbors be,
Back there.
yeah. But you remember the fence is only going up to a little past their house. I still gotta pay. I'm gonna finish the fence later. I ain't finishing it right now. I'm talking about the rest going that way. It's gonna go up to past their house, just a block from the. But technically, I'm not gonna be funny, but I didn't even need that fence now. I kind of wish I would have just saved my money, cause I didn't even need that fence
Why?
because I don't need a permit for that RV.
You still need a defense.
I got the permit now, but I didn't need one. You get what I'm saying? I needed the permit for the tiny home because it was a 12 by 24. And you can't have anything past a 10 by 12.
72 mine.
Yeah, but I ain't following that shit. I'm gonna pay that off early. And I made sure they was sitting in there like, cause I was sitting there taking my time. They would just say, "Oh, you just gotta sign in this shit." I was just sitting there like, and they like, "Oh, I don't need you to tell me what it say. I need to read it with my eyes." I said, "So I just want to make sure that if I pay this off early, that money ain't gonna go towards the interest." I circled it on the contract, took a picture of it, and I said, "It says it won't." So when I start making payments on this RV, I want to make sure that I don't have that situation because it's a legal document. I said, and I don't want to hear no bullshit because they had told me that about when I got the Havoc system done over. They were full of shit because the payment was $175 a month. I was over here paying like $400 a month on it, and most of that shit was going towards the interest. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna refinance it. I'm gonna go get a loan from my bank and pay them the fuck off, and then pay through my bank and have it as a fixed rate where if I pay it off early, I ain't got no problems. And the same thing with this, because this, I had to get insurance on the RV, and I paid for the insurance for it. It was $208 for the year, so I paid for that today, and then they was like, oh, they said they're gonna mail me my license plate because it's a license plate. They got the license plate spot. Yeah, I got the temporary tag thing. I think it's in there somewhere. So they're gonna so it's all registered with the DMV and all that already. So I'm gonna have to pay property tax on it.
Yeah, every month.
No, once a year. Because it's considered a movable vehicle, even though it's not. It don't got no motherfucking engine. They said it was like, it's just like with a trailer. But they told me it ain't gonna be nothing crazy. It's gonna be like. They said it shouldn't be nothing more than $100. It won't even be like $100. They said.
Where's the temporary tag?
No. When they bring it, they have to drive it here, baby.
You said temporary.
No, I thought they took it out the folder because it wasn't delivered yet. It was in there, but they took it out.
They said you could pull with your truck.
They said that, but I don't. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how to drive something put on my truck. Like pull. Yeah, exactly. I don't trust it because it's the weight of how I've driven a trailer before with it, and it would make me feel safe. I felt so uncomfortable. I felt like I was about to die because the weight of it in the wind just rocking it made me feel uncomfortable, even though it wasn't going nowhere. I just don't like it. Now I think I would feel more comfortable driving it with like a pickup truck. like a
Yeah.
heavy duty pickup truck, like something like that.
around.
But not my
Like
not my SUV. I ain't trying to. Even though it's under 3,000 pounds and I can pull it, and it just said make sure you don't have no water in and stuff because that makes it heavier, like I was telling you. But I'm not. I'm not driving it. Deliver that bitch here.
So does it come with the septic tank or?
What do you mean? No. It has the black tank, the freshwater tank. It has two different tanks where you put your water. One is for your fresh water, and then the black tank is where his shit and all that other stuff is gonna go.
And you have to empty that every month.
Well, they have the two lines. There's one where you can just empty it, and then they have the one where it connects to the sewer line through the what you call it. That I have to have done professionally because I ain't playing around with that. I ain't playing around with my pipes because they're gonna have to dig underneath my in the ground and then lay the pipe in the ground. I forgot how many feet, and then bury it, and then hook it up to the back. But it was really simple actually because where they parking it, it's literally right there in the back of the trailer. Literally the pipe, just put it right there. Yeah, what's up, Miguel? The cha-cha, the cha-cha, the family. Da, 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 da.
When are you making those?
These shit's gonna last for years, but I do need to make them. My yuca. Oh, first of all, these need to come out of here because they're going bad. I need to throw out all the bad ones. It's because they're in plastic. They should have never been left in plastic. See that? That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah, cause see, most of them are probably bad. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's fine. Cause when it's wet in the bag, that's how you know. See, that one's bad, completely bad. Nope. Honestly, I'm about to throw the bag out. That's fine.
at least you didn't pay for it.
No, it was free, but still.
You giving to us. Another just a
No, you know Delora good people. She's somebody, I'm glad I met her. She's a sweetheart. She was like, I ain't never heard you talk like that. I was telling Tyshawn he was everything under the sun but God. It started going. I was talking to him after you dropped him off.
Oh,
We need to plant this shit.
what did you say?
This shit grown.
You want me to plant it?
We ain't got no soft spots either. Yeah, that can get planted. Y'all see that? That can get planted. The rest of this is trash. Wow. Out of a whole bag, I think I was only able to save 5. Like, it's that, and the only reason, potatoes don't even go bad that fast. It was because it was in that plastic. I got some sourdough bread, bomba clot. What? The rye bread, I do like them because you know what? You can eat one. Yes, because you can eat one of those and be full. You know, because it's such a filling bread. To you, it do. It don't stink to me.
My dad is real. And he used to eat these crackers. They had a smell to it too. So, you probably know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Do the hey. Lamar, look. I like my hat.
The main thing that keeps coming to my mind
What, boo?
as a lady is you're like, you don't have to actually sit and have to reflect on yourself.
You have to what?
Sit and reflect on myself.
That's what I said?
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I probably said it.
I was like,
Because I'm gonna tell you something.
that deep searching for
Yes, and the reason why is because in that phase of life, even though you only gonna be right there, it's still on your own. You get what I'm saying? In that phase, the hardest thing for a lot of people to do is sit with themselves.
Yeah.
And you have to sometimes be alone by yourself and sit with yourself to really understand. Like, I'm laughing. Like, Moses called me. He literally, you know how when he listens to the podcast, he gives me a breakdown as he listens to it, literally down to each minute that he listens to. He literally sends me voice notes. And he was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you would deal with that." I said, "Moses, I'm not who I always was." I said, "I told you, you have to sometimes go through things in order to learn from them." I said, "The things I put up with years ago would not be allowed now." Because he was like, "Oh, well, I don't know. It wouldn't bother me if I was talking to somebody and I found out they had a boyfriend." I said, "Well, that's you. That's not me." I said, I said, back then, it didn't bother me enough, but now it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I said, because who I am now, I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. So with that being said, I said, no, I wouldn't do that. And I told him, I said, you need to really start thinking about your value. I said, because it's going to take for somebody to whoop your ass. I'm just keeping it real. I said, it's going to take somebody to whoop your ass for you to understand and learn. I said, why would you want to go through that? You're a smaller fella. You don't fight. You don't even know how to fight. You don't even know how to scratch. I said, I know the first thing you're going to do, and this is no disrespect, is you're going to crawl up in the ball to protect your face because you're vain. You get what I'm saying? I said, but you don't realize sleeping with people's spouses, they're that person wrong because they know they got a spouse. But if you know, and even if you don't know, some people don't give a fuck. And they gonna go to war on that ass. That's a good episode as a topic. Sleeping with somebody's spouse. The cons and the pros. It's all bad to me. Ain't no fucking pros. I'm gonna put that as a no. Ain't no pros. Ain't no pros. Period. But
To some people, it's a toe because they feel like they then should sleep with somebody and not have to deal with their bullshit because then they go home.
let me tell you something.
And they-
It sound good.
So you good being the side chick.
Right. And some people are okay with
No,
that.
some people are comfortable with that. And like you listened to the episode, I think last week I did, where I talked about one of my exes, how he had a boyfriend, but we was already talking, and then he got a boyfriend, and I didn't stop messing with him because I felt like he was mine already. But you know what? I was young. I was 19. As soon as that nigga had a boyfriend, my morals now, oh no, get away from me. But I didn't have that. I said, okay, you gonna fuck that nigga on the balcony in the Bronx in the project? Well, as soon as we leave here, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you to get you back. No, that was my 19-year-old childish mind. I didn't have no sense. I got sense now. I ain't doing that shit.
I mean, yeah.
How you doing?
I always said, yeah, I'm beating up this person.
Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Like it.
I always said, yeah, I'm gonna beat up this person and all of that. But I'm too old for that.
Oh no, I'm calling the police. I'm not. I'm not doing none of that. No fighting, no arguing. I'm closing the door. Like I was just telling David. I was telling David out there when I went outside to talk to him real quick. I was telling him, I said, listen, I'm too old. I ain't fighting nobody. I'm calling the cops on you. I said, unless you come up in here and you want to lose your life. Like I said, because you talking shit from outside, whatever, I'm closing the door. But if you try to break up in here, it's up and it's stuck. You know, like,
You're a trespasser.
yeah, once you trespass, that's a whole different situation. You know, yeah, once you put yourself in a position to be in my property, that's not, because being on my yard, I'm going to call the cops on you, but as soon as you try to get through that door, you took it to the next level of now I have to become the judge, the jury, and the executioner. because I have a family in here. I have my animals. I have my cat Christian, and then I have other Christian. I have Maurice. I have you. I have to protect y'all. So with that being said, you think you're gonna walk up in here and do something? That's why when I got in that argument with that person in my living room, and they said, "Oh, because I would whoop your ass." I said, "And you think you getting out this door?" I said, "Do you really think you would get out this door trying to fight me in my house?" I will. Don't worry about it. I put the latch on and everything. Yeah. I said, don't leave. You don't need to leave. Stay right here. Because the ambulance gonna have to come pick your ass up when I'm done with you. Because I'm gonna turn you every which way. And I'm gonna turn the cameras off in my house. I'm gonna turn the cameras off and I'm gonna turn you every which way but loose. You be lucky I don't sing you the glory.
That's
What? What's name? That was from Sam's Club. Let me get a likey like. Make sure you share the channel. Let me get a likey like. Pat yourself on the back. Let me get a likey like. Pat yourself on the back. Make sure y'all pat yourself on the motherfucking back. Give yourself some encouragement. People! Huh? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Ooh, 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 ooh. Whitney Houston in this motherfucker. And I'm telling you. See, she was. I'm not moving. Oh, he about to praise dance. You're the best man I'll ever know. Come on, Christian. There's no way I could dance it. Come on, Christian. Ever, darling, there's no way. No, there's no way I'm living without you. Come on, Christian. I'm not living. Look how the fuck he praise dancing to that song. That's talking about a man. But Heavenly Father, you can switch it to a God. You can make it a gospel song. You can. I'm not living without you. See that now they make that in church. I'm not living without God. See, it's about a man, but it can be about the man upstairs.
What I got, some music, secular music, sounds exactly like.
Listen, a lot of Brandy's albums in the 90s were gospel songs. Like was a gospel song about God, but they made it about a man. But it was actually originally a gospel song that they wrote. But a lot of gospel songs are made. Secular songs are made from gospel. Yes, baby. You need. Oh yeah, you want a snack? Cause you ate dinner already. Lamar, I'm so sorry. Oh, actually no. There's a melon in there already. Can you pull that out and give that to him on a plate? Don't we got plastic plates over there?
No.
Oh, baby, can you get a plastic plate? Get the rest of them. It ain't a lot. I gotta buy more. And what the hell going on? We almost out of fucking paper towels already up in here. What's going on, everybody in here? Now I know Maurice used a lot of them for Apollo, which he gotta stop. I gotta get him like puppy rags and stuff like that, cause that's crazy. No, I'm just saying, like, ooh, I bought those a month ago. You see how big that shit is? Those are the extra large ones. I got those from Sam's Club. Hold on, he about to give you you see the melon? Yeah. Just, he about to bring you a plastic plate. You just cut it up and give it to him. He ain't gonna eat them seeds now. What's going on, Yapper? Hello. Did Mr. Maurice go get your plate? Where he went? He went in the room? He went in the cat room? Oh. He went to go get the plates for you. 250 plates. What is going on? That's all we got left. So 250. Yeah, I remember you. What's going on, baby? What's going on? But I will say those are some heavy duty. I will say there's some. No, it's right there. Lamar about to cut it up from. It's the melon right there. And you can put. Christian, come here. Where's the pretzels? I'm gonna put little pretzels on the plate for you too. I gave you the rest of the lasagna for work tomorrow. I ain't want none. I said I ain't need that. When I thought about it, I did want that lasagna. What happened? You gotta shake it, baby. Pour it back in there. It does that. You gotta shake it before you, cause that's the top of it. No, it's not water. It does that. You gotta shake it, and then it'll thicken up once you're shaking it. Yeah, just pull the seeds out. He ain't gonna eat that. But you know they say if you eat papaya seeds whole, don't chew them. That's a good cleanser, and that parasites get attached to the seeds. But the only thing about it is papaya is nasty to me. Papaya is nasty. It's fucking gross. I like it's straight ass. It's straight booty.
But the papaya that I had
Hold on.
Please what? What
That's
happened?
orange, ain't it?
Huh?
No, papaya.
It is like a yellowy. It could be orangey, yellowy orangey. It's like that.
Usually it's like orange. You know.
Oh hell no! It ain't citrusy.
No. I said the color. Is it like orange?
Oh yeah. The outside it's harder, but it can be. It's soft.
Like it opens.
Yeah, don't chew them. That's right. That's the biggest thing. You don't chew them. You swallow them whole. Yo, we were in the class, me and Maurice, right? And there was this guy, he was talking about, he was late or something to the class. And me and Maurice just, thank God we was muted because we was sitting there looking at each other. I was like, he need to shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Literally, like, and then Monday, there was this guy talking about how he was abused and stuff. Or something about he was put down by his auntie or something like that. I said, bitch, that is not our business. We are in here for a class. Keep it to yourself. Sharing that ain't gonna do nothing for me. Go share that shit with a therapist. I'm sorry, but I'm in a class to help the community and help children. I don't want to hear about your shit.
How are you taking that class?
Huh?
How are they taking that class and all that?
I would be worried.
You got put down. You got put down. Put that out.
He said he said he was saying verbally and emotionally like he was told negative things. But if you seen him, you know what happened. You know he was touched. Yeah, you can tell he was touched by the Lord. If you understand. I know that's right. Come on, Christian. Hey! Get it, Christian. Get it, boy. My God is awesome. He can move. You don't even know the words, child. You over here about to mess up. You waiting for me to say the words. My God is awesome. He can move mountains. Sing the rest. What about the valley? Come on, help him out, Lamar. The valley. Christian, you out of control. What's up? What's another gospel song you like, Christian? Hallelujah, Shabbat, praise the Lord. You know that one? That used to be what we used to be up in church. Hallelujah, Shabbat, praise the Lord. Where's the yeah, give me that. I want to give you some pretzels on the side.
Okay. Shabbat.
Where's the pretzels?
Praise the Lord. Shabbat.
Oh, grab them up there. Can you reach them, Christian? You tall enough. Yep, right there.
Shabbat. Praise the Lord. Shabbat. And you know, we got that one choir man who's always loud and always singing.
Yo, we had somebody in the choir. Oh my God, I can tell y'all some choir stories. This nigga smell like shit. I think he had IBS later on. He found out. His name was David, and he was from Wyandanch in New York. And we used to go to this church in Wyandanch. And even though we didn't live over there, we used to, my grandmother, I don't know why they had us in that church, but that was their home church. And he smelled like straight shit. And I remember, like, because they used to do it by height and by what, depending on the category. So so you get in your room. So make sure you wash your hands after and brush your teeth, okay? All right. He just stunk. Like, he smelled like he used to just shit on himself or had shit stains in his ass or something. And I used to be like, I don't want to stand next to him. He smelled like poo. And I was like 7 or 8. So I said, he smelled like poo-poo. He be poo-pooing on himself. And then we was going on a retreat, like the church retreat. And then we was going to Bible camp and all that. And yeah, and they was like,
What was that, down here or up there?
No, it was in Maryland. It wasn't. We lived in New York, but they would do it in Maryland, like the church retreat and stuff like that. It was always in like Maryland or something.
See, that's the difference here. Like right down here, the closest church retreat you're gonna go to is to another church.
Oh no, when we go to church retreats, we would go away for like a week, or it would be like a week. And if you went to Bible camp, you was there for like a month because they had Bible camp for the summertime. If you ain't have nothing to do with your kids, they sent them to Bible camp and sent them away with the church. Like, so now my mama wouldn't let us go to that. She only let us go to the week because she said she didn't trust people with her kids. But my grandma would be there, but my grandma couldn't go for a month. My grandma had a job. So my grandma would go for the week when we do the church retreat. So she would let us go. But if my grandma wasn't there, we couldn't go. She said because my mom told me to always said the story how when my grandfather used to be an alcoholic when she was younger, some friends that he had from the church before he gave his life to God, while he was drunk at their dining room table, his friend from the church put her on his lap and molested her right there while her father fell out drunk. So my mama didn't really the church. That was it for her. But she would let us go only if my grandma was going. But that whole camp, like the church retreats and stuff, if my grandma wasn't going, we wasn't allowed to go. Yeah, we wasn't allowed to go. But I remember one year they put me and him and we was in Bible camp for the week, and he was with us, and they was like, "Oh, y'all gonna go in the room? Y'all gonna have bunk beds?" I said, "No." He shit on himself. I said it out loud. I got whooped for that because we was at a church meeting, and I said he be shitting on himself. I don't know. They called my grandfather. My grandfather took me to that bathroom and took it out on me. Like I was jumping around.
Nah, let me tell you. Nah, cause my dad used to tear me up too. I got in trouble at school. I still remember her name. I ain't gonna say her name yet. But she used to pick on my voice. So I left a handprint on her chest. I said, remember this now. So my mom got called first. My mom was like, I'm still at work. So she called me dad. I figured everything gonna be cool. So towards the end of the school, Larry even reported to the office, his office. My dad is sitting there. And I said, you know, we are taught you not to put your hands on females. And you left a handprint on this woman. The other woman, this girl, her mother said, my baby girl, she is so harmless. She won't hurt a fly.
I hope you spoke up for yourself.
My dad was sitting there.
You just had to bite the bullet.
Yeah, I had to bite the bullet. So after, he gonna get suspended for a week. I didn't care. And then, so, my dad was like, I got something for you. And my baby sister and my sister were sitting in the principal's office. All you heard in the bathroom, the principal had his own bathroom. I said, oh Lord, he's killing me. He's killing me. No, Jesus, take me now.
Now take me there. That shit felt like getting whipped with chains. I swear. Yes. My grandfather had that serious old belt. And yes, and he used to do this with the belt. He used to
it up.
And he used to sit there. That's how you knew you was about to get lit the fuck up. Because he would just sit there and start doing this with the belt. And you like, I know what time it is. All right, do it.
Mine was with hoses, like, the little hoses, like, underneath there. Hard hoses.
We used to do the switches too. That used to be the other thing, the switches.
You know what? You know those, in the old TV that had the box in the back?
Yeah.
You know the wires that you have to connect the blue, the red,
Yeah.
yellow? Those wires connected. You used to fold it up like it was a belt.
Or what my mom used to do is be like, go take a shower.
Oh.
Yes. Go take a shower.
No,
that was her favorite. As soon as you got up, you better dry off. Because them hits gonna hurt worse than ever.
Why?
No, it was right after. Every time we used to be having a good time, we had a pool in the backyard. Every time we came out the pool, tonight when they're laughing, line the fuck up. All of us.
But I will say this.
Yeah,
In my childhood, I've only been whooped by my grandfather, my mother, and my father one time. In my whole life, my father only whooped me one time. because my dad wasn't allowed to whoop us because my mom said, I'm raising them. They live with me. You can't hit my kids. Like, that was, she was like, if they do something, you bring them to me to whoop. She said, because you come when you want. She was like, I'm here every day, all day, sick. When they sick, when they in pain, when they fine, when they bad in school, you don't go up to that school. Like she was like, so nobody has the right to whip my kids but me because I'm doing it by myself. That was her motto.
I can't say.
My grandfather would do it, and my mom and my grandfather went into these big ass fights where my mom would tell my grandfather she was gonna slice him every which way, and he ain't never hit us again after that. Cause she was like, these ain't your kids. He was like, oh, these my grandkids, they acting up for church. She said, so you tell me. She was like, you don't whoop my kids. But then I understood as an adult later on why my mom felt that way. It's because, you know, when she found out that my grandfather wasn't her actual father, now it made sense. She didn't find that out till she was 25 years old. And she overheard it from one of her aunts when they was drunk on New Year's. So she already had Jaleesa already by the time that happened, my sister. So that was her third kid already. She said he used to whoop her different than he whooped the other kids. So she said it made more sense to her because she was like, he would whoop her till she pissed on herself. Versus she said she was like 8, 9 years old and he would whoop her till she peed on herself. But that's when he used to also, he was, you know, my grandfather used to be an alcoholic before he gave his life to the Lord. Once he gave his life to the Lord, he changed all of that. And that's why I think my mom did. That's what they're closer. My mom and my grandfather are closer than her and her mother. She will call him and won't call her mother. They don't get along. But I understand why, because she felt like her mother lied to her all those years. And it's affected her to this day. That the fact that you knew, not the possibility, but you knew that this other man was the father, because this is somebody that my grandmother went into a whole full-blown relationship with. It wasn't like a hit and quit. She was dating this man for months. And then my grandfather went back down here to Bladenboro when this happened, because they had split up, and then he came back towards the middle of the pregnancy, and he was like, oh, either you're going to be in her life or not. If you're not going to be in her life, don't come around her. And my mom was like, I feel like they should have just gave me that option to see that for myself versus just taking it away.
Did she elaborate that? Did she say?
Oh, yeah. One thing about it is Teresa Burst, baby girl gonna say how she feel. And she don't give a fuck who it is. Oh, in anger. She always presents it in anger because it's like the little girl in her. She always says, I don't really know all the way who I am. You know, and that is something that I don't know that feeling because I know my father. But you know what I mean? I don't know that feeling, so I can't. But I do know that I have watched some documentaries and people who fully don't know it, like who are adopted or they're lied to about the paternity of their parent, or they find out their sister really is their mother and their grandmother is their grandmother and not really the mama and stuff like that. It hurts them a lot because they feel like, oh wow, I don't really know where I come from because I don't know this other side of me. And I think that's something that bothered her. But I also told my mom, I said, oh, no, I ain't telling my mom. My sister told me. She was like, at this point, the age you are, he's most likely gone. You know, because my mom is about to be 63. My grandparents now are in their late 80s, like 87, 80. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, he probably around there. Oh, yeah. That's why. My grandma just died. My great grandma just died a year ago, almost 2 years ago now. Almost 2 years ago, because almost 2 years ago, because she would have been, it's almost 2 years, because she would have been 102. She died at 100 and I don't know how many months. I think 109 months or something like that. She was 100 years old in 9 months. She got to see Obama become president, even though he ain't shit. I don't care what nobody's saying. But honestly, the only difference between the two is that we just seen the naked truth of it. Because if you go back, and like I said, I'm a social studies major, okay? Not just because I have a degree in it. And you go look at the politics of it all. There's not, in the policies, the only difference is he's more of a dictator and he's showing his dictatorship versus they hide behind these laws and stuff. The only difference is Obama wasn't shit either. And the whole thing that people thought, because being black does not mean that you are for your people. I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'm still waiting for what he do. And fuck that reparation shit, because that's not realistic. Okay, well, America's already in debt. All right, but let's be honest here. We do not need a Republican or a Democrat president anymore. We need a new party to come in. We need something fresh, because these two old fucks, they just want to see who dick is bigger. That's all they doing is having a dick whipping competition, versus actually helping their people. That's why when you go look at like something like Canada, you go look at certain places, and I'm not saying it's perfect. No place is perfect, but you have to be honest with yourself. And you said these parties are just swinging their dicks around, just to say who got the bigger dick.
And it's funny, India got a woman as a president, and so does Mexico got a woman as a president. As the president. What's wrong with America?
They wasn't ready. They were scared. They were scared because they didn't know what that meant. And then not only that, with her also being biracial but black, and a female, they automatically think the black woman is angry. Because imagine if she would have the outlandish things that he said. If she says that, see, that's a nigga right there. Oh, see, she's angry. She's emotional. So what the fuck is he? So
yeah, and like this other person said, they was like, if a black woman said voice her voice and opinion, she's angry, she's upset, she's a mad black woman. But if it's a white woman, it's she's so strong.
Oh, she's a victim.
Oh, she's a victim.
Exactly.
What the hell?
They called that, and don't get me wrong, because I wasn't for Kamala ass either. I wasn't here for her ass either. Because I was not. She was my last resort. Kamala. I was not here for her either. It was the lesser of the two evils. That's all it was. It's still the damn devil. But which one you gonna go? Which devil you gonna go with? The one that got a teeny 5% chance of being a little decent, versus because don't get me wrong. I felt like I was over both parties. I was like, no, we need something new. We need the Green Party. We need somebody else to tap in. What's her name? What is it? Jill Stein. That bitch been going every year. There's a presidency. She on that list. I think it's the Green Party. She's on that list every year since I could vote, and probably before that. She has been on, not as a Republican or a Democrat.
She's liberal.
Yeah, I think she's independent. She is on it. Listen, let's give Jill a fucking chance at this point, because Jill been trying for years, knowing she ain't gonna win because it's not a major party with major endorsement, But let's give Jill a chance, just because I'm about tired.
Joe started when he, because it was Hillary and Trump,
Yeah, and when she lost, I was mad. I was mad at that.
Joe Biden, he was on the independent ticket. He was on the independent ticket. And then when he ran for president again, he switched to Democrat.
Listen, Trump said it back in the 90s. He said if he ran for president, he would run as a Republican because people are going to believe anything they say. And he openly, honestly said it, and that's what they did. Now people, including the Republican Party, are having a shit show because they're seeing that it's affecting them. And I'm talking about the people like us that literally are in these streets working and punching clocks. You get what I'm saying? It's affecting us more. And now they're like, oh, shit, what did we do? Like that man that they said that needed to be brought back from Salvador, I think that nigga dead.
He is.
I think he's dead. And then they keep saying, oh, he's part of the MS-13, but they have no proof. They have nothing. He hasn't been arrested for it.
And then that white lady, I forgot her name, the one that speaks for whatever.
The House? Yeah, no, not the House Speaker. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. The press secretary. I don't like that devil ass bitch. The press secretary.
She tried to say that, we sent him back to his country where he belonged, where he came from.
And technically, he had protective status. Not only did he have protective status since 2019, they were not supposed to send that man back. And they knew that. And then they said
they sent him somewhere new.
Actually, it's a known thing that they are building a prison in El Salvador
They've been in 5.
for people who are not. It don't matter if you're Salvadorian or not. To just get the fuck up on out of here. That's why that president of Salvador was sitting with Trump like that, because it's a money game.
Sick.
It's a money game. But you know what?
And the first people they send over there is gangs. And
They just want to prove
And then,
to us
and
that
let me
we-
tell you
they
something,
can
for the
say
people in the
whoever-
military-
just deported some more over there.
And for the people in the military, if y'all want to kick people out or don't want people that's stringent in the military, you got to lose a lot of your military, because you're gonna have to kick out so many people because the government was paying for all these people hormones and shit. Like I'm talking about in the military, the active people or non-active people. You're gonna have to pay. It's just, do you not realize you can't discharge them? Because you can discharge them, yes you can, but they're gonna still get paid. You know why? Because they're only being discharged because you now have changed the law and made a law about, oh, transgender can't serve, right? But guess what? You still have to honorably discharge them, and guess what? They're still gonna get a check for the rest
Yeah,
of their
they
life.
can't be dishonored.
Yeah, I mean, because how you gonna sit here and say, oh, they didn't do something to get kicked out wrong themselves. Their sexuality or whatever they changed it to be is what got them kicked out. And the government was agreeing with it at one point. So now that you don't, guess what? You got to honorably discharge them, and you still got to pay them for the rest of their life. So you need to go ahead and let them people serve, because I don't see too many of these young people who sign up for the benefits. They don't want to be in that shit for life. They sign up for, do your little 4 years or your little 6 years and get the fuck out, and you got your benefits for life. That's it. Ain't too much.
And what makes it bad is the military ain't done it for a short amount. It's not like you're in there for like your whole life.
Unless you want to be.
And how many are in there for their whole life?
It's not like it used to be. Mm-mm.
I'm so glad I didn't join underground. I'm so glad, because first I was gonna go to the military, then I was gonna go to the Navy, and then I was going to like.
I wanted to go to the Air Force originally, but the Army thing was just, who the hell was paying for school? My parents didn't have no funds for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, you know, they had all these fucking kids. You know, my mom got 7 kids, my dad got 8 kids, and they got 2 kids together. So, they only got me and my sister together. So it was just a lot of kids. And then I just was like, oh, I refuse to be poor. That's really what it came down to. I was like, I'm not about to be poor out here, because I only had a little part-time job when I was in high school working at Macy's.
See, my mom, she had an opportunity to send me to the Navy school. The Navy school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you work and everything. But when they tell her how much it was going to cost, my mom backed out. She's like, but I want to send you. She had a good work and everything. I'm being good. Then when I grew up, I was like, y'all want to be in the Navy.
You would have got a chance in on you
Already
today.
I was gonna say that's all.
You would have been throughout.
That's all that happened there is fucking, sucking, threesomes. Not even threesomes, sex parties. All that. That's all. I'm telling you. That's it. Being faithful in the military is not realistic. So I be telling you, like, go on that shit single because you gonna hurt somebody, or you gonna get hurt by somebody. You get what I'm saying? You gonna get hurt by somebody, or you gonna hurt somebody.
You were single when you were in this?
Nah, I was hurting somebody. I said either you gonna hurt somebody or you gonna get hurt by somebody. I was hurting somebody, and that's why I always say that one person is the only person that in life that has met me has had valid reasons to hate me, and I accept that because I know I did them dirty in every single way I could. That's the only person, because after that, I was never that person again. I would I wasn't that person to anybody after that, because I was like, I saw how that broke that person. When I mean I saw how it broke them, it sent them into a depression. It just went bad, and I didn't know that my actions was doing that to them, but it did.
You didn't know?
No, not at 19 and 20 years old. No, I did not know that. Because the mindset of a 20 and 19-year-old is not the mindset of a 33-year-old.
Yeah, that is
And also,
true.
they said that really don't know anything until you're 23.
Yeah, so no, and I was doing this at 19 and 20 doing this. But the thing about it is, see, like Desmond, when he was there, he set up there and went and got married, right? His husband was right here from North Carolina, and he was this country little twink. And it was crazy because then his husband was sitting here like, oh, yeah, you his best friend? I said, yeah, that was back then. He said, oh, you his best friend? I'm like, yeah, we was in ROTC together, da, da, da. And then his husband was hitting me up trying to sleep with me to get back at Desmond. I said, oh, I don't do that no more, player. I said, Desmond told him the story about how we fucked each other's boyfriends or whatever. And I was like, yeah, we was in high school, nigga. We ain't in high school no more. I'm not doing that. You his whole husband. He's like, oh, well, he don't know what he want. And I was like, I ain't getting involved with that. And you know what? It makes me think, did he ever get divorced? I'm not going to say anything, but I don't think so. Because even after they wasn't together no more for like a year, his husband hit me up like, oh, well, we need to get a divorce because I'm going to be leaving the military soon and da-da-da-da. And he already left the military. And I was like, what you telling me for? I need you to get in contact with him. I said, I can't. You know, he's on drugs and real bad. So, he was on that heroin. So, you know, he was pumping that stuff. So I was like, I don't even know where he is anymore. That's when we had lost connect for a few years.
Speaking of ex, please tell me how come this nigga gonna move to New York? And tell me, oh, I thought he was here.
Oh.
My ex.
Your husband?
Who's-
Your husband? You are still married.
Wait, I thought
Your
you
husband
served.
that you, I'm sorry, your husband that you're separated from.
I thought
What
you
did he
got
do?
served. I thought you got served.
I'm in on papers.
Oh.
You waiting on the papers,
That's
baby.
what he texted me.
Let me tell you something. When he text you that?
He said that.
Yeah, it don't take that long, baby. They literally
They do
serve you
that.
within 3 days.
3 days,
They have a
yeah.
72-hour window from the paperwork. And I know because I've had to serve somebody before. That's what I know. Because I was like, oh, I need to get up out of it. When it was coming up on that 10-year mark coming up, I said, oh, hell no. You ain't getting none of this Social Security. You ain't getting none of these 401ks. You ain't getting none of these benefits. You know. Because when you be married that long, then it don't matter. If you didn't legally put it that you separated, they get claim to it. And see, at the time, me and my ex-husband, we was not legally separated. We were just not living together in a marital home anymore. But guess what? Legally on paper, we are still married at that time. So legally, at that 10-year mark, he would have been able, even if I got married again to Marisa, then say I got in my 60s.
Our marriage would have been no room.
No, I said, and I would have been in my 60s. When it would have been time for me to get my Social Security, which we might not have no more, when it was time for me to get my Social Security, he would have been able to tap in. So, you know what I'm saying? He would have been able to tap in. Then he would have been able to tap into the military benefit. He would have been able to tap into everything because after 10 years, it doesn't matter. If you didn't legally separate on paper,
How long has it been? 8?
We got married in 2018.
Oh,
yeah, you
it's
good.
been-
You good.
it's been 7.
You good. And they don't want nothing from each other. They ain't got nothing to give to each other. And like I said, you better start putting money in the IRA yourself because, like I said, it might not be no Social Security by the time they done. They said they had stopped people's Social Security altogether at one point. And
They had
the federal judge had to, because they had paused to say, oh, you'll be all right. First of all, bitch, what? People's grandmas live on that, and that's all they got. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, my mom only gets Social Security in retirement. She don't get nothing else. And she basically living off her dead husband's Social Security because his Social Security was more. And she just ate it. And mind you, and them motherfuckers ain't been together since the 90s. And he died in like 2017 or something, or 18.
They
No,
weren't together
18.
when he died, right? They weren't together when he died.
They ain't been together since Tariq was fucking born. He wasn't even there for Tariq's birth.
He wasn't?
He could be. He was in jail for that situation.
What's the shit?
Well, he did.
Oh, yeah.
He was, and then when he got out, he couldn't come back. He went to Pittsburgh, and then he didn't meet Tariq. I think till he was like 4 or 3. I think Tariq in life only seen him, and this not even being funny, like on these 5 fingers, not even 5, maybe 4 times. The last time I think he saw him, he was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, he never saw his father again, and he looked like his family over. He looked like his dad's side. He did, but he did or whatever. But she sure did. The first thing she did was,
I just beat that this nigga to me. I thought he was
and
Got a
she.
homie, your number, and everything.
Oh, so he moved to New York. Oh, wow.
Find you.
With that girl, he's trying to find you. Trying to be with his husband. Trying to get his husband back. So
That's not funny, but
It's not funny. Maybe he had a life altering change and he wanted his husband back. That don't mean you want him back, but that don't mean he can't want you back. I'm not saying you want him back. I'm just saying that can't mean you want him back. It just maybe he wants you back. Which is crazy because this is not a funny thing. It is not a joke with me. And I mean this dead ass, Lamar. I talk about it on the podcast with you listen. I do not fuck with exes. I don't know why. Like, I'm not going to say I don't know why. I do know why. Because, bitch, after what happened, what the fuck I want to do with you? You know, like, if it didn't work out, why would I keep messing with your dusty ass? And I really couldn't do it. Like, and it's a true statement when I say anybody that has been my ex, I've never slept with them again. Once we was broken up, it was done. Not my ex-husband. Not my ex before Maurice. No, I never slept with my ex-husband. Once we broke up and he moved out, once we left our marital home, we were never intimate again. Never. It doesn't matter if we was broken up in the home. No, it doesn't matter because he really wasn't my ex if we still living in the same home.
That's not true.
It is true. We still living in the same home, and he knew I had a whole boyfriend, and he knew that, and he still didn't care. He would literally come knock on my door and say, "After you're done with him, come give me some." I'd be like, "I got you. Let me put him to sleep." So no, I'm just saying. So we were still married, but no. But the point is, once you were my ex and we separated, you would never get none of me again. You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, if he already had moved out and say he still lived in the same neighborhood, oh baby, you couldn't touch me. You know what I mean? And like, I am so serious about that. That's a big no for me. And I remember when I was about to break up with somebody before, they was like, "Oh, well, can we at least still sleep together?" I said, "No." I said, "If we break up, it's done."
I don't get that.
It was like, "Oh, the sex is good, even if the relationship ain't." No, bitch, I don't want no parts of you. You a demon. Like, I don't want you touching me. I don't want your spirit on me.
And I thought mine was that because when I broke up with mine, Nigel, he used to have guys come on all types of nights. I slept on the couch in the living room. That was my area. Clothes and everything is in the living room.
Another podcast episode. Should you sleep with your ex?
Like, he had military guys come over and everything.
He was dogging them out?
Walking them out, putting on heels and walking on their back, like, putting on wigs and the makeup and everything.
He sure did live a gay 80s life, even though it wasn't the 80s.
Because he was a former drag queen.
You was like that. Never mind. I was like, not you was letting somebody with a purse climb your back. Oh, Lamar, you have lived, honey. Listen, if I'm gonna get my back climbed, he better be a man. Like, yeah, I don't even want to do that, but if I'm gonna do that, it better be a man. Ain't nobody with no purse gonna be climbing my back. That's like letting somebody with titties fuck you in the ass. Like when.
That's comfy.
Exactly. That's the point. That's sick. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. The point is, ain't no fucking way. Ain't nobody with titties gonna climb my back, and ain't no nigga wearing heels gonna climb my back. And I remember I had an ex that wore heels, and he would wear them around the house, and it was like 8 inches, right? Nigga was already tall. He was like 5'9". So it would make him taller than me. I said, "Nigga, I'll knock you down. Get your ass down off the heels."